So it's here at last, the 1/48th scale Arma Hobby Hurricane. It's been promised for a long, long time. Was it worth the wait? Well, I've got one. I'm going to have a look inside the box. I'll show you right here on Gary's Stuff. Hello there, welcome to my channel, welcome back if you've been here before. Today indeed is box opening day on the kit of the week. That kit is the Arma Hobby 1/48th scale Hurricane Mark IIc. Now, if you've been thinking about buying one of these, and let's face it, there's been a long time to think about it, then this is very much the video for you. If you want to know how to put it together, then come back later in the week and check out the build video. How will you know when it's around? Well, best thing to do is to subscribe to the channel, hit that bell and be notified of all my future content as it arrives on the channel. Anything you like, please do remember, give it the imperial thumbs up on the like button below because every like counts. And if you'd like to support the channel in a more concrete way, you can do that through Super Thanks by becoming a channel member or by using any of my online partner programs. The kit of the week this week was made possible by a donation by Crazy Loacher. Crazy Loacher, my friend, thank you so much for this. I'm sure it's going to be a fun ride. So, let's get on and have a look what's inside the box of the 1/48th scale Hawker Hurricane Mark IIc from Arma Hobby. So, at last, the Hurricane Mark IIc 1/48th from Arma Hobby. 420mm cannon. The box art depicts the aircraft on what appears to be a night intruder raid because there's a parked aeroplane, several parked aeroplanes there, and one being blown up on the ground there. So, night intruder aircraft. There's two other versions as well available, decal schemes available. Very good box art, but it's just really sort of evocative of a Hurricane doing something most people wouldn't imagine they did. Most people just have them down as defensive fighters, but they did do some quite astonishingly brave intruder work as well. Anyway, there's the box, sort of semi-gloss finish, very nice, very clean, good colour. On the ends, here's just a repeat of the box art in two directions, depending on which way it is on the shelf. The back has the three schemes. We'll go through these schemes later on, but there are three schemes on the back. And just the usual information about the company here. Warning, it's not a toy. It's for collectors over 14 years old, which means it's probably got photo etch. Normally, if it's not, it will have for age 8 or above. Contains masks, decals the 3 version, and of course the plastic. So let's have a look and see what we get inside the box. Inside the box is another cardboard tray. Decals. It's interesting, there's an errata sheet, so there's a couple of mistakes made in the original instructions which they are correcting, which is very good. Means they're on the ball. There's a masking sheet, of course. There's the instructions, and there's the plastic, one bag with all the plastic in it. We'll have a look at all these different bits in a bit more detail. Okay, this is frame A, and as usual with Arma Hobby, it is absolutely crammed. There's very little wasted space here. They probably make smaller tools for their kits because the bits are crammed in together. Sometimes that makes a bit of an issue with getting stuff off the frame, but we'll see how we go. I'm sure it'll be fine. So frame A then is essentially all of the interior, the cockpit interior, the elevators, landing wheel, main landing gear covers, tailplane, fillet at the bottom. This will be different if it's a Sea Hurricane, for example. There'd be a hook in this part. landing gear bays, and the wheels. There's a lot of detail. All straight away you can see there is a lot of detail in this kit. The the way the control column comes as two parts. There's this part which is actual mechanism, and then the actual control column spade sits on top here, for example. Frame B, fuselage, a different bottom fillet, interestingly enough. Fuel tanks, bombs, propeller, stuff like that. Frame C, wings and gun barrels. Yeah, not a lot to say really at the moment, just wings, lots of gun barrels, lots of these mouldings. I can't imagine these are all ejector pins, but anyway, we'll see. And finally, the clear frame here. There's two versions of the canopy, one slightly larger than the other, for if you want the canopy open. It's a bit bigger. It won't look as good as maybe an aftermarket a vac form or something which is naturally very, very thin, but I think it will look fine. Myself, I look fine. I've used them previously on the 172nd and they looked okay. You can, of course, sand them down if you really want to, but I haven't got the skill or the patience to do that. So there we go. Windshield, of course. I think the gun sight only has the actual reflector glass, so the sight is grey plastic and the reflector is in clear, which is a very nice touch. Wingtip lights, of course, and covers for the landing lights. Of course, what everyone wants to know is what the plastic is like, and I have to say the detail on this moulding is incredible. I look at all those rivet lines. Absolutely beautiful. Really, really, really nice. The moulds themselves look crisp and clean. Plastic feels a little stiffer, a little harder than the sort of plastic you use at Airfix and ICM, for example, at the moment. Feels just a little bit sort of more, not brittle, just harder. I suspect when you cut through this, there's a definite snap rather than a sort of a nice sort of smooth cut through, but we'll see later on, obviously. But every one of those panels are all riveted up nicely. The top surface of the wing as well. Very nice. Obviously, that means we're going to have to do quite a lot of work in terms of panel line washing and stuff like that. But you know what? This is a top-notch kit, so it's going to require a bit of top-notch work, obviously. Yeah, I mean, the fasteners and everything, all very nice. You can't take the covers off the gun, so there's no interior for the wings. What you do get in the wings are these ranges of knobbly things. I think there's something to do with these ejection pin locations. You can see the pin locations, so there are these circle bits, indentations here. I guess that's something to do with that. You do have to remove them in some places, like here at the end of the wing. You wouldn't be able to put the wing together with those. Other places, probably not so much of an issue. I have seen this before on the P39, the Aerocobra. They had these things, and you just sort of knock them off or cut them off if you like. But it's just a bit of an oddity, I think, of Arma Hobby's moulding design, maybe. I don't know. But you know, we'll be able to get rid of those pretty easily. The fuselage, again, very nice. Lovely detail. Nice and crisp. I hope I can get the fuselage halves to join properly, because otherwise I'll be destroying a load of detail trying to fit them together. Yeah, that sort of fabric effect on the rear of the aircraft is very nicely managed. That's all very good. Inside these look basic, but I know there's lots of parts to fit in here. It isn't basic at all. There's lots and lots of holes there, which means there's lots of parts that are going to fit in there. So the cockpit interior is quite something, I believe. So a few things to highlight. You can see Dunlop on the wheels, they're on the tyres rather. Just about make out some text here as well, I guess. Very nice moulding. That means there's a lot very, very tight moulding on this. Some of these parts do look delicate. They're going to be a bit of an issue taking those off the sprue, I'm sure, sorry, the frame. That's all very nice. So there's the instrument panel, very finely moulded. That always gives me problems because I look at that and I think, oh goodness, I'm not going to be able to get the decals to sit on that. But what I might do is just cut out the standard 6 there and have those, and then maybe some of these other little ones, maybe I'll cut those out and put them on separately. But all these switches and stuff like that, I'll paint myself. Otherwise, just putting a decal on there, don't care how much microsol you use to dissolve it and stick it down. I don't think it will conform properly. There's too much relief. Obviously, there's going to be aftermarket to do all that for you, but it's not available just yet. There's the control column, the spade of the control column. That's the control column linkage there. Oh, I was going to say handbrake, but it's not a handbrake. Don't be daft, it's not a handbrake. Could be a bomb release. Yeah, the undercarriage looks very much to scale, which means it's going to be slightly delicate. It worked very well on the 172nd, I have to say. I've made, as I said before, I've made it, and the 172nd is an absolute delight. I like the moulding of the light here because you can put some chrome into that and make it look like a proper light, which is fantastic. Yeah, generally speaking, the details are very, very good on all these parts. I love that you can read the names on the wheels. That's just crazy. Crazy good fun. Again, it's all a bit crowded together, but you know what? I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be fine. Oh, this is part of the interior of the cockpit. Look at that. That's really nice. That's really nice. One small thing, and I love it when they do things like this. You can see, let me get something to point with. Okay, these wingtip lights, you can see there's a little depression there in the back of the lamp, or the back of the lamp cover. What that means is you can put a drop of the colour into that. So one red and one green. And that means when it's on the plane, it looks like a red bulb or a green bulb inside a clear cover, which is what it was on the Hurricane. So that's a very nice touch. And I know Airfix do it on their 148th Hurricane. I love seeing that. I really like that. That's nice attention to detail. Also on the frame here is this. This is the rear view mirror, which is very good. Where's the gun? Yeah. This is, you can see it's got a mounting at the sides. This is the glass for the gun sight, so it sits on top of another part, the actual gun sight. That's the glass for it. See, so that's nice. It comes as a separate part. It's quite cool. Yes, very fine, very nice. Not too many bubbles. A couple of bubbles in the styrene, but nothing anywhere near the actual parts, which is cool. The instructions, nice gloss paper, really nice quality print. A few warnings at the beginning. Read the thing first. Be careful with paint. Da 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 da. History of the Hurricane here. The decal sheets, the frames, and the mask sheets. Color suggestions here. Color callouts. They always do quite a lot. So we've got Hataka, AC, Life Color, Ammo, Bimig, Humbrol, Vallejo, and Tamiya. Every now and again you'll see, well, it's not quite the right color. You know, like Insignia Red. You're looking at Hataka have got it, AK have got it. Humbrol got it, and the others are approximating to it. But you know what? Depends on the lighting you're looking at. Depends on how you spray. Not always going to be an issue. So, where it says approximates to it, have a look and see what you think. If that sky blue is for the tailplane, then there's a German blue that looks really, really close to it. Anyway, that's by the by. So, colours are all there. There's also a quick sort of, this is what the symbols mean, which is fantastic. Always helpful. But not too many symbols, which is nice. The instructions themselves are very clear, simple line drawings, with different viewpoints, but not shaded in any way. Sometimes you're going to see colours, that's got to be brass, so it's coloured in brass. Here you've got some options of what scheme you're doing. You've got to do different things. Like for scheme 2, you've got to take the the drop tank mounting points off. For schemes 1 and 3, you've got to move, use that hole in a different position, which is kind of difficult, maybe. Yeah. So yeah, it's quite cool. It's, it gives you an idea of how things should be painted and stuff like that, which is really nice. Every now and again, they show you this is where it goes, like here, this is where it goes, and that's what it should look like afterwards. The pieces are highlighted in blue, which is pretty cool. As on the FX instructions, of course, that would just be painted in red to show you what you previously did. But the instructions are very, very clear. Yeah, very clear. I don't see any major issues with this. Different types of gun barrel, which is interesting. Different types of propeller. So there's obviously a lot of detailed thought going into these. And then there's the schemes. This one is the Night Intruder that's on the front cover from number 1 Squadron, RAF, at Tangmere in 1942. Flight Lieutenant Carol Kuttelwasser. Nice, could look pretty cool in all over black actually, but then we'll see. This is one I'm kind of tempted towards, which is Bob Stanford Tuck's machine from 257 Squadron, RAF Coltishall. I should say Squadron Leader Robert Stanford Tuck, DSO, DFC, and 2 bars AFC, so very, very, very decorated leader of Hurricane pilots. But kind of got a thing about Bob Stanford Tuck. So he's one of those cool people. And there's a late war one, which is from 309, the Polish Squadron, at Drem, May to July 1944. And that's in the later colours, the light grey underside and the ocean grey and dark green uppers as well. Kind of tempted by Stanford Tuck's machine, or maybe the black one. I'm not sure yet. Maybe I'll put that out to a vote. Maybe I'll just make up my mind and do it what I feel. Anyway, that's the instructions. Nice, clean, sharp, well printed, lovely quality paper. Kind of just what you get to expect from Arma Hobby, really. Now, as I mentioned when I was opening up the box, there's a sheet, an errata sheet. There are 3 things where they've made mistakes that they are now correcting, which I think is pretty cool. Rather than wait for the next run of print and just correct it then and just hope people just get by, they've actually gone to the trouble of doing this. So probably what a nice idea would be to do, just to cut this out and paste it or tape it or something near the instruction that it should be near, or to replace or whatever. It comes with a mask sheet for the canopy. There's a lot of bits on here. One's for the open canopy, one for the closed canopy, which is why the one set is slightly bigger than the other. I don't know if you can even begin to see any of that, but anyway, it's just a yellow sheet of paper. There's masks for the wheels, and there's masks for the landing light covers as well, and of course the windshield. And then we have the Decals sheet, of course. Yeah, not a lot I can say about it really. The colours look very convincing. The reds in particular look properly like insignia red, RAF insignia red. Yeah, so all these here are the stencils, and then all these are the various bits of squadron marking. I did individual markings for the different schemes available. I love these diddy little roundels, probably for the night fighter, I would imagine. Yeah, all look very good. The only thing I'm not going to really bother with are these straps. I've never got on with decals when they're straps. I have tried the thing of putting them onto foil. I think for the 1/48 Buccaneer I did it, and it kind of worked. But you know, I think it's just I've ordered some aftermarket photo etch ones instead. But other than that, everything's on there. I'm going to use, and again the instrument panel. Well, we'll have a look at that in a bit more detail in a moment. But you know, the colours look nice. Everything looks pretty good. Yes, we can see the instrument panel is very well represented, very well refined, and that single piece of decal, given all the ups and downs and bumps, I don't think is going to work. So I'll dry brush it first, then I might cut this section out and use that, and I might try and cut these out individually and put them on. Or I might just dry brush the whole thing and wing it basically, and just pick out these red dials and this yellow and red here individually. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, all of the decals look pretty sharp to me. Where's my standard measuring device? Here it is. Okay. Yeah, my standard measuring device here, the 0.5 millimeter pencil lead. You can see some of this stuff is what, 0.25 millimeters. That's pretty readable. That's excellent. That's really, really good. Good quality print. They're made by Tech Mods, so you know they're very, very well known for their beautiful quality. And these parts here, like the little document holders, map holders, and stuff like that, all very, very nicely reproduced. Excellent. The only thing I've got a bit of an issue with is here, the Burma flag for Bob Stamford Tuck's thing. See the U sitting up? It didn't do that. In fact, if anything, the B stood up slightly from the rest of it. There's a photo of Bob Stamford Tuck sitting in his aircraft as commanding officer of 257 Squadron, and you can see the lettering isn't quite as bad as it looks on here. So there's a bit of it's not an alignment issue because everything else is here is aligned absolutely perfect. It's just a bit of a design issue on that. But you know what? The rest are so good, I'm not going to worry about that. One other thing worth pointing out is that the swastikas, the kill symbols, are reproduced. But if you don't want to use those, then there's these, which I guess from a distance will probably look about the same. I'm guessing that's the issue, really. But anyway, the symbols are there should you wish to use them. There it is. I think it's well worth the wait. Just looking at it, it's another league above, say, the Airfix kit. Now, don't get me wrong, the Airfix Hurricane I really like. I like the construction of it. I like the way it goes together. I like the options that are available, even though you don't know it. In the box, you can buy the European one, you get the tropical one and the Sea Hurricane already in there. So they've got all these builds. It's a nice kit to put together. However, this one just seems another step up in quality. Well, is that fair? I don't know about that until I built it. But certainly in terms of detail, it's another step up over the Airfix kit. How's it going to go together? Well, that's what we're going to find out on the build video, which will be coming up later this week. How will you know when it's arrived? Best thing to do, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell, you'll be notified of all my future content as it's published. And of course, anything you like on here, please give it the imperial thumbs up on the like button below, because every like counts. Thank you so very much for watching. Hope to see you again very soon on the channel. Take good care now, and goodbye.